Test, test, test. How you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. Hope we don't have any bears in here, and I just want to make sure the audio is good. What's up, Aslan? What's up, TalkSlick? And it looks like we got a lot of people on the Twitch stream. I hope it works. It looks like it's working. Looks like it's going well. But if you guys can let me know the audio is going, I'm not going to start off and waste the first 10, 20 minutes with the audio all messed up. But man, the audio levels on my ends look good. All look good. All right, let's go. So it's Rainbow Runner here for the weekly market update. If you guys know what happens as far as our streaming schedule, every week, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we stream on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all for about an hour, hour and a half, and then we go and hit up the Rainbow Trends Discord, and we have a roundtable discussion there. We turn all the streams off, and we just have open mic, open chat. Anybody wants to show off their charts or have a questions, or shoot, you want to ask me how to code something, I'll pull up PineScript and start coding it for you. But if you're new here and don't know what's going on, and you're asking yourself why on earth is there colors all over these charts with Bitcoin and crypto, Tesla, whatever, check us out at rainbow-trends.com. You can find out all of our information here. A lot of this stuff is really kind of overpowering if you look at it for the first time, but if you go through the website, you can kind of read through it and piece it all together and find out what we're all about. And we've got free tools, premium tools, bots, etc. We got a bunch of OGs that we love to death. Frankly, the dudes have been killing it through the bear market, and now it's kind of an easy mode, and I'm watching these dudes print like crazy and actually do better than me, so it's been an honor. And as with all stream and all data, do not be mistaken, this is not financial advice. This is an art show. We're here doing arts and crafts. Clearly not a crypto related show. This is not financial advice. It's intended to be used for educational purposes. Like I said, even if you were to mistake this stuff that we're looking at for securities, they're clearly not securities, or whatever the hell Gensler's saying nowadays. Very, very illegal probably. But we pay our taxes, we do our due diligence, and the reason you're probably logging in right now is Bitcoin's knocking on $70,000 all-time highs, and our king in Salvador is posting photos of the princess coming in to visit him. So may or may not be cool, may or not be going on. Don't know yet, but price is doing really well. So to fire up some charts and take a look at this, why are we here? What's going on? A lot of stuff's going on. A quick recap. The ETFs launched. Larry Fink and Fidelity and all those bros are here. And for the most part, all the ETF data and flows has blown everything out of the water. All of these ETF technical TradeFi guys who've been looking at ETF flows for their entire life, they were wrong. You guys were right. And we're seeing data we've never even seen before. I tried to ballpark and look through some of the old stuff that they were predicting. What do they think the Bitcoin ETFs are going to do versus the CME futures and all that? Conservatively, ETF flows are about 30 times what they were predicting. So essentially what they were predicting on the monthly volumes we're doing in a day. BlackRock normally absorbs every single thing Barry Silbert dumps from Grayscale and keeps on trucking, and the rest of them follow suit and add to the pile. So it's awesome. Why is it awesome? Dudes, we went through this and we survived, and we're just getting going. Maybe we have some pullbacks, we can talk about that, but the halvening's coming. ETFs are here, volumes are increasing, and to me the ETFs aren't even on afterburners yet. So it's good stuff. And dude, just you're here. It's good times. They're really good times. A lot of people, a lot of your friends are going to make it, and it's going to be amazing. And you don't have to go sit in a cubicle the rest of your life. That's kind of the whole goal of Rainbow Theory. Chase the whales, trade with them, and be your own boss, you know? That's my goal. Anyway, like I said, Stuff's really, really good. And like with Rainbow 3, we focus on the whales. What whales do, what whales are. We trade with them in the moment. That's kind of like the whole thing, how I started trading colors, realizing why can Bitcoin go to $20,000 then back down to $3,000. And realizing there's some big dudes in control. And some of the coolest stuff. Shout out to Farside. Definitely bookmark this. I will post it in the chats. And if somebody from Twitter could please post a chat comment, that would help me out. Because as far as I can tell, the Twitter live view is working. But the tweets, the comments are not. Even though the comments are enabled. Let me check this real quick, actually. If you guys can give me 1 second, then we can go right back into this. Bookmarks. Oh. It's live? No, I can't really mess with it while it's live. Public, audience chat. Everyone can chat. So maybe it's just whatever. It's a little glitchy for me. Shout out for Microsoft because Twitter doesn't always really work with us too well, but it is what it is. Regardless, check us out at Farside, not us, but check out Farside, Farside Investors. This is a website that's actually a bot. Basically, all the ETF data flows in every day, and it gets released at different times, depending on which ETF where releases it when they have their data in. The data's not instant, albeit I think it should be instant, but it's not, and it is whatever. But regardless, you don't want to go check and pull that data every time. Just start refreshing Farside or put alerts on their Twitter. They update the data. But these are all your different ETFs, and these are all the millions of dollars of flow in US dollars that they bought or sold in crypto that day on the Bitcoin ETF. Red is negative, black is positive. So throughout the day, I constantly hit refresh, let this page load, and the API that they have on the back end pulls all this data. So right now you can see BlackRock's not in, Fidelity's in, BitB is in, ARK's in, EasyBC, thank you for the moral support with zero flow today. And then you can see what BlackRock did. BlackRock did 374 million. So overall, looking at this, we're probably going to have BlackRock come in and Fidelity and overtake this. There's only a $290 million gap, and you can see these dudes are the heavy hitters. So why do I keep pointing this out? Why do I care? Why do I care? Why do I care? A lot of people are looking at this chart and looking at the volumes and etc., and they're not really understanding what the flow is. On-chain metrics are one thing. Flow is another thing. Altogether. There's shenanigans with exchanges. Whales know you can see them do wallet transfers. All that jazz, right? This is spot Bitcoin locked in a cold wallet. And I can tell you right now, BlackRock has $9.5 billion in Bitcoin that they have in cold storage right now. There's no, oh man, $100 million got minted by Tether and it was sent to Coinbase. It must be bullish. No, this is what happened. This is what happened on every day, and these are the totals. And you know exactly how much Larry Fink is sitting on. And it's really, really awesome because we essentially have one of the biggest whales ever perfectly tracked. And what do we know what the whales are doing right now? They are vacuuming up spot Bitcoin. And you've seen my tone change a lot ever since we had the ETF here. It was like, oh, speculation. Is it going to dump? Is it going to pump? Dudes, it dumped on the launch. And since then, it's up 75%. This is not a meme coin. This is OG Bitcoin. And it's gone up 75%. So it's good news. And by the way, Twitter, thank you guys for being here, but it looks like the chat is not working. So if you're typing back to me, I can't see it, but you can message me on Twitch and or YouTube. Those are all live. So anyway, because I usually try to talk to you guys as you have questions. But anyway, it's bullish. Stuff's moving up. At this rate, BlackRock, if you just let BlackRock alone, their averages would buy every single Bitcoin in about 9 years with the amount of flow they have right now, assuming price went sideways, which it's not. And you know how supply-demand works. Number go up when there's a lot of buyers. And right now, these dudes are vacuuming up everything. And there's not even options yet. So, in my opinion, dude, like, I think we're gonna see Coinbase, Kraken, the American exchanges, Fidelity on like the non-ETF side, the actual crypto exchange. I don't know where they're gonna get their Bitcoin. I really don't. It has to come from sellers, because you guys look at this. The halvening's coming up, and yesterday, or shoot, we'll go 2 days ago, BlackRock ate $788 million. Miners right now are mining like $60 million a day. So BlackRock ate over 10 times what these dudes did in a day. And we got the halvening coming up. So the question, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but this is one thing I am going to be watching. The halvening's coming up. Bitcoin ETFs are just flowing like mad. Hold on. We're back on the screen. Sorry for that. Things are looking good. They're vacuuming this up. Options aren't even here. Exchanges are going to struggle to try to even find this. I don't know where they're going to get it. The miners are not making a lot in comparison to what's happening. And miner hash rate continues to climb. But when we see this halvening hit in around April 18th is the last date I saw. Mind you, the halvening date is block scheduled, so it just depends on the hash rates, how quick we get to the halvening. We may see a lot of miners die off. Frankly, what happens is a lot of their hardware that they're invested in becomes non-profitable and they dump it. So when the miners are squeezing, it's not a, I don't know. I don't like seeing them struggle, but at the same time, a lot of them overbuild and know that the halvenings are coming, so I'm kind of split on it. So anyway, the point is, there's stuff on my radar that's coming up. I've been really focused on the ETF. Now I'm starting to focus on the upcoming halvening, which is going to happen around April, which really isn't that far away. The Bcash halvening is happening this month. Guess what? We don't care. But ETFs are flowing. It's getting news. Retail's starting to show up and say, hey, what's going on? Bitcoin's almost back to an all-time high. The real traders been sitting here looking at, hey, we just cleared Rainbow Pivot 42, 48, and now we're at the all-time high order block. What happens next? I don't know. Sometimes in the past, we've had halvenings where there's a pullback and then price continues to move up. We've got the halvening coming, but typically we've never hit an all-time high before in halvening. That's never happened. And the truth be told is, you got a lot of people that are trying to short this thing based on how the chart looks, and they're ignoring the fact that the whales are here and the whales are buying, and they're not giving up the coins. So I don't care who you are, these orcas win. They always do. It's the king of the ocean. It's the king of the pack. And now we've got institutional orcas coming in here that do not care. We haven't seen afterburners even yet on like what BlackRock and Fidelity can do. So wait till there's some FOMO next year post-halvening or the end of this year. I don't know. It's going to go crazy. There's going to be a lot of volatility. And my goal with you guys is to not make you go through multiple cycles if you don't have to. For the love of God, don't be stubborn and try to keep shorting this. Don't try to use tons of leverage. Survive this. This is the slower moving asset, Bitcoin, and it did 75% in a month or so. And we're just getting started. We haven't even eclipsed the all-time high. We haven't done the halvening yet. Good things are coming. Is it going to be struggle and there's going to be pullbacks? Abso-freaking-lutely. A lot of people lost a lot of money here on this one candle. A lot of people. Why? They were leveraged, and they leveraged the all-time high. Don't leverage the tops of ranges. Don't leverage these order blocks, is Rainbow Theory 101, right? You're at the top of this revision rainbow. You're painting heavy paint. Don't do it. Don't do it. that's when you take profit. It's not when you get bearish. It's just when you start scaling off profits. That's a whole other thing. But the big thing I wanted to talk about on the stream is how to catch some of these pullbacks, and I'll get there really soon. Or we may save it for the roundtable, and I can really take more questions there in the Discord. But friendly reminder, please like, comment, subscribe. Any of the interactions with the algos greatly help. Even shoot me a downvote if you want and tell me why trading black and white is better. But speaking of downvotes, you're seeing a lot of this show up. Very large investor, size-wise. Not trying to make a joke here, but he's saying that Bitcoin's going to go to $3,600 in under 2 hours, or he's moving whatever. This is not savings. This is not money. This is not even currency. Nothing but a speculation, a casino chip. Will it go up to 100K and beyond? Maybe, I don't know. And neither do the glib voices, who's sure, whatever it is. Point being, we're built different. I think that's easy to say. We do have some silver bugs in the Discord. Shout out Dime. Love Dime. If you don't know who Dime is, by the way, slight tangent here. The king of memes, and this was my favorite Pepe that he posted this week, because this is well done if you remember that actual cartoon from the 90s. But I digress and move back. People are mad, and people are going to be real mad. Oh, it's a speculated asset, blah, blah, blah. It's not fiat. It's not a real currency. Dudes, McDonald's is like $15 now to feed yourself if you get a drink. I don't value shiny metals. I don't value manipulated currency with pyramids on it and the all-seeing eye. Don't dig it. I don't dig it. I like this, and I like what it's behind, and I like how it's not manipulated. I don't like the money printer, and like I said, I don't like shiny metals. Like, you know me, I don't like diamonds, I don't like gold. Shoot, if you actually put a gun to my head and told me what's my favorite gemstone, even though I don't wear gems, it's an opal. Something that looks cool. I don't want something that's like, oh man, it's the clearest thing ever and it's really hard and can scratch other things. Whoop-de-doo, cool. Cool. But, looping back around, I'm watching the happening. I'm watching the ETF flows. There's some other stuff popping off. If you've noticed, the AI tokens have really been kicking it off. Shout out Render, shout out FET, shout out anything that's been rebranded as an AI token. Maybe Zcash will get rebranded as an AI token. I don't know, but sounds cool. What was it? AI. What was the other? Well, I forgot what the other. We had modularity to it. Just some cool keywords. For machine learning is kind of old school. Whatever. I joke. I digress. But AI's pumping. These are big gains. Rainbow theory wise, you buy dips, you buy pain, you buy paint. And I've got something. Oh, it is printing. Sorry. I witnessed something yesterday that I haven't seen in a very long time. I saw some dudes in our Discord buy the dip on Render on spot, and they cleared 75% within 24 hours on a spot trade. So back to that lesson I was saying, survive. Don't get liquidated. You can do a lot of damage with spot, and at the end of the day, if you're spot, they cannot rip it out of your hands. Larry Fink and Fidelity and Wall Street, they're coming for your coins, and they want them, and they're not going to give them back. So be careful. They'll give them back to you, but for a very high price. You can do a lot of damage here, and don't remember, like, leverage is a casino, and casinos always win. I'd rather see you guys grind it up slowly, just buying dips, and run it up and peace out at the end of the cycle. That's my goal. So anyway, this was one of the coolest things, and I'm going to cover this way in details in a bit. But AI's pumping. We saw actual volatility. We saw an ungodly amount of liquidations. I think one of the biggest ones I saw was Jasmy. And yeah, shout out Playmaker. This is his coin. But this was one of the most violent pumps that got faded when Bitcoin finally went down, and it went down like 30%. I picked some up off the floor here, even though I had some Coinbase outage issues. That's another story, but add something else to the list that I broke because I have a market bid that was technically 100% canceled and 100% filled. So my taxes are going to have a hole in them. And I'm going to have to explain this to the IRS, how that happened next year. So I'm looking really forward to that. But the thing is, you want to trade paint, you want to trade liquidation cascades, wait for your white candles to print, get close to these red bands, do some damage spot, expose yourself, and with the proper attitude and mindset, dude, you could do a lot of damage. These don't come all the time, but man, when they hit, you've got to get the emotions out of the way, because the whales pick these up, and you can see these impulses. There are buyers here. Everyone's absolutely crying and screaming. The RSI is blowing out, paint's blowing out. People buy this stuff, and it prints, and it does really, really well. So if you want to see like Deathwick trading, we have some videos on YouTube, specifically. Just look up Deathwick, so the interview with 9K. He's one of the only other like Deathwick traders that I know, and he's one of my bros. I always support your bros. So anyway, moving on to that. AI, big liquidation cascades. Let me go back to AI real quick, because this is another thing that's on my mind. Fetch AI, just an example. Just you're gonna make 100% spot trade if you caught the Deathwick. Hell yeah. That's hard to do. I make it sound easy, but this is how like Rainbow Theory started trading. Like I started trading colors and figuring out what whales can and can't do, and that was the thing. I started buying here and launching it because I didn't have access to leverage. And now I really, really am a believer in staying spot. But back to AI, back to what's bothering Runner right now. The halving's coming up, the hash rate, the ETF flows. This is really on my mind. This is the NVIDIA conference that's happening March 17th, March 21st for the workshops, and then the AI conference is March 18th and 21st. Rumor, I don't have insider information, but rumor, NVIDIA may come in and announce what crypto token like they're working with to help with like their AI stuff. Like I said, rumor, I have no freaking idea. I don't know the first thing about AI coding or crypto coding in regards to video. None of that. I can trade really awesome indicators, and that's about it. And even then, it takes me a very long time to code that. With that being said, I know for a fact volatility's coming March 18th to the 21st. And I know for a fact these AI tokens are pumping like mad going into that conference. If you zoom out and you look at these machine learning revision bands, we're printing into them with pink candles. That's like the strongest thing I've got as far as Rainbow Theory to show you a whale's strength. We can go back to the 4 hour, and it's just dancing and going. And you can see our split volume tool here just showing you how much they woke up. They're pumping. March 18th, March 21st, right around here. I want to be risk off when we get here, because there's a lot of people betting that like Fetch or Render are going to be the token that NVIDIA keys up with. We don't know. Even if you did know, it might be wrong and it could just nuke, right? Get your gains, risk off, and by God, if NVIDIA comes out and says we've partnered with Fetch AI or Zcash, Litecoin, whatever, it's going to pump up and you can ride that party. Just how it goes. So it's the same thing like with all these people that try to like think they have the market insider for the next FOMC rating meeting, and they're going to go long or short based on that. And they're always wrong. It's always a coin toss. But now we're even trying to pick tickers going into an NVIDIA conference, which is the greatest coin of all time on the stock market. It's pushing up, so it's amazing. Frankly, I just dig their products and whatever. It's cool. Maybe they'll cure everything. Cure cancer, cure AI problems, ChatGPT, whatever. Don't know. But mark your calendar. Volatility's coming on this date, whether you like it or not. You don't want to be in the way of a crash, because this stuff is at very, very high altitudes. And when things are at really, really high altitudes, the whales can get out of position, nuke, and they can buy you back here. The last thing you want to do is ride this up and ride an 80% down draw. You don't want to do it. You can go 1,000% up, but 100% down kills you. So keep that in mind. Sky's the limit, but that floor is always there. Another thing on my mind. Flows. Ethereum's coming. Blah. Is Gary Gensler going to approve the Ethereum ETF? I have no idea. It's a coin toss. It's a yes or a no. He can only delay this thing for so long. And just like the Bitcoin ETF, he has a final deadline. The first one up is the VanEck Ethereum ETF, which is May 23rd. May 23rd, 2024. Per the legal laws and rules, whatever regulations, not an expert, but I do know on May 23rd, Gary Gensler has to come on stage and say yay or nay. It's really going to be an announcement like through Twitter, especially if they get their 2FA figured out. Zing! But May 23rd, they can't go past that date. They keep kicking it out. Like Fidelity, they could kick out to August. iShare, they could kick out to August again. All these things, right? Doesn't really matter. What matters is the first one, because the thing the SEC will not do 99% of the time is approve one and not the others. So this is just like the Bitcoin ETF that they just approved. They had these all scheduled up with a bunch of different calendar dates because all these different companies applied at different times. And then they approved all of them on the first deadline that hit them on the final deadline date. So Ethereum, May 23rd, we're going to get a yes or a no. Now remember, Gensler's very consistent. When Gensler wants to be a shithead, he's going to be a shithead. Or pretty much all day, every day. That's how he is with crypto. The decision on the SEC approval for the ETFs for the Bitcoin was a split decision where he was the tiebreaker. Is Ethereum going to get it? I don't know. No one knows until it actually prints. And even then, when it prints, it might be a hacked Twitter. We learned that the hard way, right? Well, let me spell Ethereum right for you guys. You know what? I'm going to go to Kraken. Shout out. I just clicked the wrong one. Whatever. Shout out Jesse. But if you can tell, Ethereum, since it's crossed this channel walker tool, is up 70%. And it's running. May 23rd, you can run this little vertical line. May 23rd, let me zoom out. That is when he's going to announce yay or nay. So, if, and I don't think this is going to happen, because if it just continues this trajectory, we're going to hit like, what, $10,000 before this date? But regardless, even if it did, this is the point where I want to be protected. So mark calendars, May 23rd. This is the ticker. This is the official stuff from the SEC scheduling. This is where you need to protect your butts. Now, is that hold your spot and add a stop loss? Is that sit stables? That's up to you. This is not financial advice. Remember, this is a fun show about drawing whatever. I'm trying to draw a rainbow in black and white, which is really not a good point here. But point being said, there's times to swim and there's times to chill the F out. If we keep doing 100 plus, 200 plus, blah, 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 I want to be protected, because by God, if we go up this high, these whales are going to drop this thing like a bad habit, and they can nuke us back down to 3,000. So, am I going to cry about missing potential uptrends in like the week of the ETF? No, but I will damn sure cry about this. So be careful. And I'm not bearish on this. I think long term, and you remember this is a rainbow cow talking to you about securities or non-securities, whatever. I think we get an Ethereum ETF. There's CME futures for Ethereum. There's CME futures for Bitcoin. So the legal arguments for the futures getting converted into a spot ETF makes sense. But Gary is always a shithead, and he will always be one as long as he's in power. So they may deny it. And what that would mean is they have to go back to the courts. The judges will sit there and drag Gensler back up to the stand and say, you're wrong. The courts do not disagree. You have to approve this. And then they would have to prove it. But that might be it next year. That might be the year after that. I don't know. No one knows, right? That's the key. So the thing is, understand and realize you don't know. the odds are this thing keeps going, and then the whales can use the narrative, and we move up into this date where they do the ETF decision, right? And then from there, it's up, moon it, and you can long it, because as soon as it's approved, like, I don't think it's gonna pull back, but it might. Bitcoins did this and then went up 100% or whatever, 70%, right? And this fell out of the sky, or if it's a no, it could fall out of the sky. So just risk off, chill out, it's all good. That's my opinion. If you guys want to party and leverage up on the due date of the ETF decision, by all means, I'm not going to see your liquidation emails. We can do Photoshop tutorials, and we can maybe make some fake P&Ls. I made 4,000 at 125x on Ether Delta or whatever, Bitfinex, whatever. You could just make up whatever. I'm trying to name debt exchanges. I'm not being funny right now. I'm sorry. I'm very tired. Very tired. But that's the point. So, if that thing does, though, the ETF launches, it gets approved, and it gets squeezed, you guys need to be very, very familiar with what the hell Ethereum is. And you need to understand there's not a fixed supply on this damn thing, but it is deflationary. Is it deflationary a lot? No, but it is deflationary. So when you compare this to Bitcoin to Ethereum, Bitcoin is currently inflating at 1.71% per year, and you can see Ethereum is deflating at 0.234% per year. Is it a lot? No. Hold on one second, guys. So anyway, sorry, wife's calling me and she's out of town right now. So keep this in mind. We need to watch this. If you want to go look at like whatever 1 hour, you can see that this thing's deflating. So technically, the miners are going to keep mining and being able to supply to the market. You know, currently right now it's like 60 million Bitcoin, $60 million worth of Bitcoin a day. It's really around 900 Bitcoin per day is what they mine, and then it's going to go to 450. Right now, there's no Ethereum miners. It's all proof of stake. And the fixed supply is going down. And you'll see people that, like, a lot of maxis that'll post up, oh man, it's not inflationary, or it's not deflationary anymore, blah, 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 blah. These people will, like, screenshot these little sections where it goes up, but this is since the inception of the since the merge. Overall, it's down. Is it shaky? Yes. But overall, right now, F2.0's deflationary like they planned. Fees are really high. Is it the greatest thing ever? No, it's not. I'm not a maxi. I like both. Bitcoin to me is the best Bitcoin. Ethereum to me is the best Ethereum. One's an orange, one's an apple. They're both in crypto. You got to support your section of the supermarket, right? Forget the vegetables. These are the best fruits. Let's go, right? So I don't like maxi talk at all. I've made a ton of money on Bitcoin. I've made a ton of money on Ethereum. Those are my two heaviest hitters. They'll always be my anchor bags. I'm always going to have some spot, and no one can take it from me, which is great. Anyway, the point being is it's deflationary. It's the number 2 crypto in the world. And if you want to talk about squeezes, BlackRock can mess this bad boy up. When I say mess this bad boy up, if they come in and start buying $200 million worth of Ethereum a day, you can guess where this $4,000 price goes, right? Its number goes up, and there's no supply short of sellers. There's no miners. And shout out to ultrasound.money. This is their website where you can track it all. So I just want to put that stuff on your guys' radar, and also show you guys stakingrewards.com. You can actually look at what Ethereum staking does with the current rewards and stuff like that. It's just kind of cool. But if you're going to talk about deflationary Ethereum, you need to take a look at this too. If you're going to do your own node and not stake through like Coinbase or other places, I don't recommend anyone. But if you were to do it your own, you have to have 32 minimum. Right now, the 32 Ethereum is worth $125,000. And if you were to compound that on whoever you want to pick, let's choose Rocket Pool. Even though I don't support Rocket Pool, this is an art show. You can kind of see what it would be. Now, if you own a node's worth, you're gonna make like $4,000 a year. Is that enough to live on? Maybe in your country, I don't know. Maybe you live in a van down by the river and like are at peace with the world. Maybe. I don't know, but it's kind of cool to look at. And also means when you're sitting in a position spot, you can sit there and just stake it on Ethereum. They'll lock it up, I think, 7 days. Don't quote me. But you can just make steady DCA free Ethereum if you stake it. So if you're going to go into the ETF approval, you're looking at Bitcoin cycles, all that type of stuff. You're looking at towards really next year's kind of what the windows are going into. But mind you, we are starting to deviate from the roadmaps. We're almost all-time high. If not, you could consider it all-time high was hit this week, and we haven't even hit the halving yet. That's never been done before, and it's because of these whales that are just vacuuming it up. So, anywho, it's good news. We're not crying. We're sharpening and honing our skills and running with it. And we've seen so much cool stuff in the Discord. Seen a lot of these dudes cut their teeth on a lot of this stuff. Study the whales, study Tool, study TA, and they're killing it. So shout out to the whole Rainbow Trend Discord. Love you guys. And since we're doing shout outs, I want to take a little break here. You guys may or may not know Altcoin Psycho. He's one of the few quants that I've ever known. And I don't even really know him. He just happens to answer my DMs from time to time. But he was one of the first guys to ever really encourage me to put some of my coding products out into the public. And I'll never forget that and always support him in his adventures because that really helped me out as a new coder. And he dropped a life update today that I wanted to share. Altcoin Psycho is joining Coinbase as their first ever sponsored trader to advise on the product development of their new perp and spot trading platform, Coinbase Traders. So, shout out AP. He's awesome. And I wish him the best. Speaking of AP, he's been talking about this coin, AKT, for years now. He's the only one I remember that was talking about a cash network. And if you're United States bound, you may or may not be able to get it on Kraken, but not on Coinbase yet. Maybe he can push this to get that roadmap done sooner, but this is coming to Coinbase, or at least I think it's on their roadmap. So good chance they get through that roadmap and get it launched. But since like October of last year, it's up 500, 600%, and Coinbase is flagging and intending that they are going to bring it to market. And they just hired Altcoin Psycho. So, kind of, this one's on my radar. I want some AKT before Coinbase gets their hands of it. So I just wanted to share that because those are kind of tied together. But back to the original plan. We've only got 20 minutes here before we kick back to the Discord. Like I said, my wife's out of town right now. My in-laws are hanging out, so I'm going to have to give up my my trading station and streaming station back to them. But I'm going to go hop on the laptop and we're going to go hang out in the Discord. And quick little message. Let me send you guys the link to it because I didn't. Yeah, here we go. You guys may or may not be able to see this on Twitter, but I posted it anyway. And I posted it on the other socials just now. So that's the Discord link if you want to come hang out with us and ask questions or tell me Rainbow Theories a joke to my face. That'll work too. I'm cool either way. It works for me. Whatever works for you, I'm going to root for you if you're a cool dude. Or gal. We got both sides of the fence here. But let me see what's popping off. If you don't have this, definitely try to make a ticker tracker per exchange. I try to have one for like Binance. I try to have another one for Coinbase. Whatever, and you can sort by the percentage here. So if I want to see just randomly go click, see what's really pumping, every day this resets after the daily close. So like right now, MND Marinade, I think is what it is. Yeah, Marinade. It's pumped 30%. It's pumped into the revision bands. Pink candles in reversion bands with white RSI. Likely gonna retrace, right? Take a look at Bonk. Bonk is waking back up with Jeez. Whiff's not on Coinbase, but I have it here anyway because I was tracking meme coins. Don't hate. And the volume's nuts too. Zcash, since we do have the legend that is Nexus, the guy that I understand 40% of what he's saying, but he Pico sniped the Zcash bottom. And he hangs out in our Discord. He bought down here, and it's up, what, from $19 up to like 34, which is just insane. AVAX is pumping. I'm just kind of doing some scanning, guys, because I want to see the daily's opening. Asia's waking up, see what they're doing. I do need to check Ethereum Classic because when Ethereum runs, Ethereum Classic likes to run. And it's going good. It's fully retraced. That's awesome. Say started pumping. Hasaka started posting about it again. Shout out to my Say groups and the Cyan groups. I'm always going to be ingrained with those dudes. I like these guys, and I like the tech they do. And if you want to talk about buying the dip, this is the reversion bands. That's the second strongest rainbow color going into here with RSI prints, and then it rotated. This is good time to buy paying spot. Don't do it leveraged. Don't do anything leveraged, to be honest with you. But it woke up today pretty hard. If you can see the impulse, that's it, volume impulse. Boom. It shot up and blew out and kind of rolled over. Now it's starting to wake back up, but we'll see. Keeping an eye on it. I would love to see it start getting and holding above $1. That was really, really cool to see. It did it twice over here, and then it just kind of faded, and it hasn't brought it back up. But your boys at Jump Capital, legendary market maker, they may or may not be in Say. And they tend to pump the crap out of coins on the cycles. So I like the tech. I love the memes. I like the people behind it. I like the market maker behind it. I'm really bullish on Say, and I'm going to stay like that. But you can see on the 4 hour, we actually got a white candle here, and then the colors rotated to yellow, to orange, and now they're pumping back up. These are essentially how you catch knives with like Rainbow Theory. Because truth be told, whales are not infinite. Whales can't just nuke this all the way to 0. Now, there are exceptions, for sure. Luna comes to mind, for sure. And I think this might be a dead chart. No, there it is. No, there it is. Stuff can fall off the face of the earth, and you might as well have been on leverage even though you tried to buy it spot. Mind you, this is stuff that's either hacked or scammed or regulatory issues, blah, 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 blah. I point to Luna and I point to FTT because that's how you can get caught upside down. Nothing's perfect, but this stuff hits hard and we do really, really well because normally most people will not touch this. Man, when I see white candles touching these reversion bands, especially the machining learning side, and I see RSI colors rotation, these little X's are RSI, I get really, really bullish. And I watch what happens here. Now, the thing is, when I'm watching capitulation, I mainly watch the king, which is Bitcoin. If I can see that Bitcoin's bottoming out, I know the alts are going to bottom out. So you want to talk about when to snipe bottoms, you want to see Bitcoin find support, and it just gets easier with the more signals you get. You've got colored candles bleeding out to white, then rotating. You've got RSI bleeding out and then rotating. You've got an actual touch of this reversion band, which is very hard for Bitcoin to do because Bitcoin's not a very volatile asset. In real life it is, like when you compare it to gold, but when you compare like Bitcoin to Doge, it's not. But you can see how this thing bleeds out. You see that same color pattern, you see the RSI pattern, you see it kiss up and out. And then you can see it here, bounce up and out. Now, if you're doing continuous cascades in a bear market, you have to be careful because it doesn't always come back up, right? Nothing does, but you can see eventually you can find support. And that's a 40% difference from the top there to the bottom there. It doesn't look like a lot, but it is a lot. In addition, you have like the top colors here, top rotations, those signals. So anyway, my point being is if I can find Bitcoin showing support and I can see that the alts are just dying. Remember how I was showing you this where it's got every coin on the exchange? Sort that bad boy to red. and look for what's dying. So if I see that I think, hey, Bitcoin got flushed fully, and the alts are definitely dead, I'll pick up the alts that really, really died off on spot and get the bounce back up that's even more violent. Doge, for example, did 42%, and it hasn't even done its pump like Render yet. Just that mean reversion action back up. And go back to Render now to show you guys like what we were looking at. Render actually did touch this reversion band. The base one's red, the machine learning's orange. You can, there's whole tutorial videos on the website, rainbow-trends.com, if you want to read it, in case you didn't get the link at the beginning. But this one pumped 80%. Now this isn't always the thing, but point being, you don't want to buy these like purples and pink candles that are strong at the top reversion band side. This is where you want to sell. This is obviously where you want to buy. Emotionally, what the whales train you to do is buy here and buy their bags, and then they nuke the market down. I'm telling you, nobody wanted to buy Bitcoin at $15,000. Now that BlackRock's here and it's crossing $69,000, everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to buy it. It's reverse psychology. If you ever watch the Costanza episode where he starts living life in the opposite, it's essentially that. You just have to get calculated with what you're doing. But if you learn your whales, you learn your Render whales, you learn your Litecoin whales, you learn your Doge whales, they're all different. Trust me, a Litecoin price action couldn't be any different from Doge or SHIB. But you get ingrained with what they do, man, you can get really consistent catching paint, trading colors on Litecoin. You really can. It's one of my least favorite things to trade because the volatility is so low. But Litecoin's been around, 10 years? I know Litecoin's not really vulnerable to a hack or something at this point. It's too established. It's too big. It's not new. It doesn't have vulnerabilities hidden in the tech of a coin that just launched on Raydium 10 minutes ago, right? So I know when this thing bleeds out, I'm pretty safe bidding into it. It's not going to Luna me. It's not going to FTT me. It's not going to BitConnect, BCC token me, or whatever you want to call it. Really, I think the real big hacks. You remember like DeFi season when like YAM went down, and it was just like, well, the code's broken. It's going to go to zero. That stuff like really happens. So you see me like focus on Ethereum and Zcash and like Bitcoin and stuff like that. It's because I know how those whales paint. Like, to me, I can see the colors and I can see what they do. Like, let me show you the very, very, very different version of this would be With. This thing is a monster. Mim on Twitch, just check it out. It's all that's on the website, the different pricing for the indicators. We even have free ones that are really good. Some of the base reversion bands are free, but back to this. Who's got, probably KuCoin's got a really old chart. So if I go to like 4 hours, if you notice how this stuff is just straight up pink, like you can't see this on Litecoin. Litecoin doesn't have enough strength to do that. But Litecoin isn't also going to do 500% in a month, right? It's frankly, since August of 2023, I mean, it's still the same price from July of 2023. Like, really? You get the point. But I know my colors for Litecoin. The base settings for the tools work really, really well for it. But when you start getting into like stuff like this, you start getting into meme coins. I need to go to KuCoin again. Sorry. Or Mexia work. No, sorry. I need KuCoin. Can't believe I just said I need KuCoin at this point, but when in Rome. You can see like this machine learning band moves every time you touch it, and it never forgets when it's been broken. It's trying to still adjust to WIF because it's such a new coin with such a like crazy volatility and all this type of stuff. But you know, you can actually pull up these settings, and shout out to Hotpins like 3 years ago. He asked for like exponential tuning, and you can adjust your tuning on these and get the gain back to where you need it, and you can actually start seeing like the rotations of where this stuff cools off. You turn automatic tuning off, and now we can start to see like some of the rotation. So I just kind of eyeballed this with a mouse here. I don't really trade this. I don't think I even have access to it. Coinbase, Kraken, whatever. But the color scheme, if you go to the indicators page, you actually click indicators. I'm not trying to show you, I'm just trying to show you the color pattern. This is the color pattern for the tools. These are your bearish colors, these are your bullish colors, and the strengths of them. And you can see increasing strength up to pink, and then you see it decrease back down. And essentially it's the way markets move, they go up and down. So you can see it increasing into the pink candles. So I can do it side by side. You can see the increase into the pink candles, right? And then the whales take a breather. Another pump, increasing, breather. And now they're kind of going to higher price target, higher price levels, but it's going to weaker colors. So you can kind of see it's kind of taking a breather, and allows you to see what's going on with these whales. Are we peaked out yet? I don't know. The market cap of WIFs is still kind of in the air and how high this is going to go. But the point is, you can adjust these tools to show you like different things. At the end of the day, people want me to have something that auto tunes to WIF on 4 hours and Tesla on 2 minutes and gold on another and lumber futures. Can't really be done. Doing my best, but you can do automatic color tuning. Start off on the 4 hour and you can mess with the settings here. But anyway, that's how I chase volatility. You have to know your colors for your whales. You have to know what they can do and what they can't do. And you can see this machine learning is trying to catch up and learn what WIF is about. And that's fair. That's what it's for. And that's kind of the design of it. And even here, you can see the volume just pouring in. This indicator shows you the buys, and then this is the sales. And any of the volume that flags with a blue or yellow is an outlier. It's kind of like trying to show you when the whales are really pumping. So that's why you see these yellow or these blue candles here, and these are just like red and greens. But like it's hard to even see this because it's just been so much volume. And it's all over Twitter. But shout out to the WIF guys. This is now worth more than most of the commercial airlines at this point. So we're just getting started, and this is worth more than what Ryanair right now. It's just insane to say and insane to see. So whatever. But anyway, I'm getting close to the end here. Like I said, if you're new here and you want to come hang out with us in the Discord, we're about to go open up the Discord and let the Rainbow OGs kind of show their thoughts. Usually some of the really cooler traders show up. If you go into the website again, it's just at the top here at the banner, and I've posted. You can check my Twitter Discord too. It's got the link. No paywalls on the Discord, and those dudes are just jam freaking packed with alpha. So I'm constantly listening to what they're saying and seeing what they're cooking up with. Constantly talking Disney, Disney, Tesla, S&P, silver bars, you name it. It's a fun group. And they're really smart. A lot of dudes in there are way smarter than me. So blessed to have them. Let me see. Where are we at with Bitcoin since we started streaming? So anyway, I'll kind of close with this and then I'll kick it off to the Discord. But that's kind of the all-time high order block. It's not perfect. Remember, there was 2 order blocks here, and this is not my pre-drawn chart. Dang it. But there was a peak here at 64 and a peak here at like 69. That's the order block. The halving's coming. I really want to see what happens. I don't think we're going to nuke. I don't think we're going to capitulate. So far, everything that has been dumped on our heads from Grayscale. And mind you, let me show you. To show this, but I didn't. So shout out CoinGlass. if you want to know how much Bitcoin Grayscale has, go to this website, CoinGlass, and look up Grayscale. That's how much Bitcoin he's got. That's the other thing. The halvening's coming up. I'm watching the halvening. This is the other one. He dumps like 8 times more than what the halvenings, the miners do per day. Miners are doing like 60 million. He does a lot. This is 405,000 Bitcoin that are in his wallets right now that they're dumping. Is it going to go to zero? No, it can't go negative. But it is being offloaded. So with the halvening coming, at some point, now mind you, the flows change every day. Somewhere in here, I think he's going to get down to zero. Or it's going to get to a steady number where there's people that are just committed to Grayscale. They're not moving even though the fees are ridiculously high. But this, when Grayscale quits selling, that's going to be like 5 times, 8 times more than what the miners do during a halvening. So this is like super, super bullish because Larry Fink with BlackRock is not going to be able to buy this anymore because these are eventually going to go to zero or not be sold anymore, period, and it levels out. We might even see Grayscale become a net inflow, which the market's going to go crazy because they're like, where's this Bitcoin going to come from? I don't know. But I'm keeping an eye on this, and I'm trying to project it, and man, I've run the numbers a bunch of different ways. Sometimes Grayscale shows up and sells $500 million. Sometimes they show up and sell $150 million. It's hard to tell, but I don't think he's going to make it into Q4 of this year and still be offloading unless the market just completely nukes. Someone drops a bomb that splits atom things. I'm trying not to get banned on Twitch. You know what I'm talking about. Say WW3 kicks off, we don't really care about charts anymore at that point and just hang out with your fans. But the point is he should be done. Bullish environment. He should be done sometime here. I don't know. So you're going to see the halvening supply shock, and then you're going to see the Grayscale supply shock that they no longer are offloading. And at that point, I don't know where I don't know where Larry Fink, Fidelity, the Saudis, whoever else adds Bitcoin is going to get their Bitcoin. I don't know. And unless there's some hidden supply somewhere, number probably goes up. I don't want to do the math here, but if there's a lot more buyers than sellers, there's not too many options. So with that being said, thank you guys for showing up. If you want to know anything about us, rainbow-trends.com. Like I said, whales hide in plain sight. We try to expose them and try to trade with them. Forget leading and lagging. Let's trade with them live, right? And check us out on the Discord. And I'll be here next week, next Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, all the different stuff. You name it, we'll take care of it. If you have any questions about anything, shoot me a DM, hit us up in Discord. 9 times out of 10, the Discord OGs who've been with me since 2017 can answer just about any question, short of what's going to be the next bonk. So anyway, love you guys. Talk to you guys next time. And I'm gonna go get a drink and then switch computers, and I'll be in the Discord. But we can get that kicked off shortly.